Yeah, so we're here at, what is this, round 5 or 6 at the World Cup? 5. Snowshoe, and it's not as warm as last year for sure. Clouds and rain have come in, and it's pretty cold. So, yeah, I just started track walk. I mean, it looks like they did a bit of work to this first left-hander, but we'll see what it looks like down there.
Yeah, back, I guess it was the first time UCI came here in a long time. They had a huge jump right out the gate. First feature, Brendog backflipped it. Yeah, dog! Everyone was getting some style shots sent off that first big jump, but for the last 2 years it's come straight into a tiny little wood section and crosses across this little wood section we're in now, so not as spectacular for the fans out the gate.
The last two, I guess, were dry, right? I can't really remember. I'm pretty sure they were both dry. One thing I am stoked on is we're not going through this ridiculous little woods right here that took me out last year. So,
can you tell me what this section was like in 2019? Remember, I came straight down here, flat out.
Oh!
That was sick, with a big road gap ahead, then crossing the road, then big flat turn. That was sick. That was really good. And now this is like a more another entrance. There is like a kind of roof section where we're gonna maybe double, triple, quad double.
What do you think it's going to be like in the riding in the rain, the wet?
In the wet will be something, because the bottom of the track is like a lot of rocks everywhere, and they are so slippery. You know, some rocks are grippy, but those ones are not. So, yeah, it will be like doing bikes on ice.
What are your thoughts on this weather?
it's perfect. Now, a bit scared for the rocks, but no problem for me when it's wet, so it's good.
Can you tell me what this section was like last year?
Then looks the same after. It's not the same track, so looking good. It's fresh and excited to have some changes on the track.
Well, it's just back in autumn, but it's really misty, and we haven't ride snowshoe in these conditions, so it's just going to be a new snowshoe, and we will see how it goes in the rocks.
Can you tell me what it was like in previous World Cups here?
Yeah, it was really dry conditions, big jumps, and really rocky. And this time they've made some change already, so it's good to see. You know, conditions are different, so it's going to be cool to try a different snowshoe.
Cool. How precise do you need to be here?
Well, really precise, you know, even on the jumps, you know, you're not allowed to do any mistake before or after, and then, you know, like the rocks, there is so many, so you have to really take your line and be like on the edge.
What are your thoughts on the new changes on the track?
I always like changes on a track. Like, it's always nice when you drop in kind of fresh-headed to a track, not just on autopilot from the year before. I'm always a big fan of the mix-up.
Can you tell me what it was like previous years here at the World Cup?
Yeah! Pretty much flat out in the dry. Like, this whole top section was wide open fast. You had some big bike park turns, some step downs, some big rock doubles, and once you got into the woods then it was real hard pack, but it was always dry. I think through here this all looks quite interesting. It's fresh, it might dig up a bit, but then as it plateaus out and gets flatter, hopefully it doesn't get too bogged, because that was a section of track that kind of needed to be dried so you could carry your speed through to the next section of track. But I don't know, we're going a different route so far, so it might be different down there. We'll see how it goes.
So what are your thoughts on Snowshoe 2022?
Wet. Wet and slick at the moment, and we are not even at the rocky sections. So yeah, gonna be interesting, I think. Especially here, there's all new sections. It's not ridden in at the moment. Pretty tight in some parts and slow, but yeah, good. I think good. I was here last year, not the year before, but well, not 2019. But last year was dry, fast, fun, like different stuff, bike park stuff at the top, and then techie, rocky stuff at the bottom. And actually the rocks were last year already pretty sketchy when they were dry, so I don't know how it's gonna be in the wet now. Maybe it stops raining at some point. We will have a dry finals, but who knows.
Can you tell me how steep the section is leading into this forest section?
You actually can't really tell how steep it is until you're actually riding it, and it's like, I guess you can tell how steep it is when you actually arse is almost over the rear of the wheel.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I mean, like, with this weather, it's going to be pretty gnarly to try and make the right-hand turn at the bottom. So yeah, I think it's going to be probably a good section for you to film.
Honestly, when you walk it, it looks a bit sketchy and stuff, but not too bad. And then when you get on the bike, after some riders and some mud on the rocks, it's a whole different story. So I think tomorrow will be super hard to find the groove, but track's always pretty sick here. Like, it's really technical, a lot of little things to watch, precision to have, and they changed some stuff, which is nice, you know, always discover new parts, so stoked so far. I just hope the weather clears out a bit, because it's fun in the wet, but for racing it's so much better to go pinned on dry rocks, just...
This section last year you could just hit it tapped. Like no brakes, just brain off. So but I think it's going to be a bit different this year. You're going to have to be pretty precise with your braking and just where you put your wheels.
Chris Grice, first home World Cup.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. It's the home soil. It's a few hours from my house, but it all feels really similar. So I'm hyped.
What did you see or hear from previous races?
But I remember in 2019, it was a bit of a wet race, and they said it was really difficult. But I've raced here in the wet before too, so I kind of know what it's like. So yeah, it'll be difficult and important to have a really good lines and be pretty smooth on the bike, but I'm looking forward to it.
So tell me the importance of holding speed on this lower section.
Well, holding speed's a challenge in this lower section. You've got all these rocks that are all different angles, so it's pretty tough. I think you just got to try and keep the bike going straight and keep some speed up. It really makes a difference down here.
Can you tell me what this section was like when it was a little bit drier?
Oh, it was just like off the brain and just pin it everywhere. Yeah, really rough. Just need to hold your bike and carry speed. It's really important to carry speed from the top left up there to, yeah, it's where a part it's quite flat, so you can lose a lot of time. And it's going to be harder in the wet because one mistake is going to be easy and losing speed. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
A few rocks down here, huh?
Yeah, a couple rocks. I would say a few rocks down here, up there, everywhere you look. But some are grippy and some are slippery. It's really weird, but we'll see. It's wet and we're in Snowshoe. To be honest,
how fast it was down here in previous years?
Yeah, it was literally no brakes to like here. When it's dry, but obviously with all the rocks and everything, it's literally still no brakes, because as soon as you brake you're offline, so it's going to be a tough one for sure. But there's still, like, the top's got all new lines and the bottom's kind of similar, but I think it'll be good.
Tell me how fast this was previous years.
Yeah, it was, you came out of the woods there on the left-hander, basically sprinted as hard as you could for 5-10 seconds, and then yeah, no braked off there. Yeah, you were like, this slight turn here that feels like nothing was like scary at the time. So yeah, you're definitely moving quick.
Like I was just talking about before, in 2019 you saw like Charlie Harrison come hooking through here and how much time you can make up. I think that's crucial to finish off, because once you come off the kind of the road there, it's just like you can't really pedal, it's all tucking and pumping. So yeah, crucial bit.
It's gonna be pretty slow, I reckon. Like, we were able to do the triple, but I'm pretty sure we won't now. For us, it's gonna be impossible. I mean, I like when they do the new changes, so I'm not gonna complain.
We'll see tomorrow, really. Like, I don't have expectation. I expect it to be really weird. So maybe it's not.
What was it like here in previous years when it was dry?
It was super fast. You could hop stuff that we look at now. I'm like, how? It was really fast. I feel like it's gonna be way different now, like more like the track picks the line for you and you just commit to it. But we'll see. To be honest, maybe it's good. I don't know.